Hey guys, welcome back to Easy Life. Today we continue our international championship campaign at the international championship, obviously, against Jack Lisowski. 3-1 down. Wonderful break, 136. That last round from us. So, all's playful if we can just get off to a decent start. And yeah, he has left us this red. So this is tough, but I think this is similar to the shot that we opened a break up with earlier in the match. I don't know if it was in the last frame or if it was in the first frame. So obviously, the first frame we produced a wonderful break of 69, only to be denied victory in that frame, which it is put down to unfortunate circumstances, you have to say. But yeah, last night was the final of British Open. It was a good final. Mark Williams, the experienced player, emerging victorious, but you gotta say, the real loser in that final, by the sounds of things, was I don't know what. I think the players would say that the real loser of the final was Rob Walker, just because they didn't. I don't think either player was particularly wowed by his interviewing style. They just wanted questions. If it were me, I'd probably be a bit lost, not knowing what to say. Yeah, what a wonderful victory. Yeah, can you ask me something? I don't really know what to say. That'd be me feeling inside, Because Gary or Mark, might have felt a bit shy. They might have felt a bit introverted or whatever.
Top pot that was. He seems full of confidence.
I'm certainly a little bit like that. I'd be a bit shy, I suppose. I wouldn't really know what to say, like especially if I hadn't been in front of a whole crowd of people, not being asked a question, and you just asking me to come up with a speech. I'd definitely not know what to say myself.
That's not bad at all.
Like just a bit introverted like that, but if Gary or Mark was introverted, which they might be, can't really tell with a snooker player. They are silent for a lot of the time anyway. During the match, they shouldn't really talk. What I mean is they're not allowed to just. they tend not to just have a casual chat during the frame. Maybe between frames they might have a laugh. At the interval they might have a laugh. Like if they're really angry, they might say something to each other, or they might just have a laugh if something's funny. Even the ref might have a laugh sometimes. Well, the ref with a sense of humour. Although I don't know if that's a good thing. Ben Williams, huge sense of humour. He's always laughing.
I'm not surprised he's taking on one pot here.
I'm not saying the other refs are miserable. They're not. They just probably control their emotion a bit better, which is, I suppose, part of the job of being a ref. But Ben Williams, he spiced snooker up a bit. His refereeing style, such a chill guy. He got stung by a wasp once. Kyron Wilson put his arm around him. Good old Kyron. Friendly, except for when it comes to Judd Trump. You gotta love our Kyron Wilson. Yeah, I think I just had a slight disconnection there. It just felt a bit odd. I was like, what's happened? The game's paused. Where's the pink? It's not gone back on the, in brackets, black spot. Then I realised, no, the pink belongs on its own spot. That's where it's gone. Now, I can get the black spot occupied by opting to knock in this not hugely difficult black.
Tremendous pot.
There's a proof of why my controller might be suffering of disconnections. Yes, I make it no secret. The batteries are a wee bit low.
Nicely onto the black.
What's that reflection? I saw some car pulled up in the driveway based on the reflection by the ball. There's nothing in the driveway, which is funny. I don't know what it is. No one walking around, and it might be my next door neighbour. I don't know what they're doing. Not really looking don't really care what they're doing. To be fair, not going to be a nosy neighbour. If they don't encroach on our business, we don't encroach in theirs. That's how it should be.
43.
There's definitely some noise. Yeah, I think my neighbour has just pulled up or something. Yeah, there's definitely some car noise. I can hear it. There's someone sitting in the car by the looks of it. So that's what the distraction is. I love how I'm just saying I'm not interested in what they're doing, but the only reason I'm talking about it is just because I brought it up because there was some reflection, and now I'm just interested to know where it's coming from, since I brought up the topic. Otherwise, I don't really care what they're doing whatsoever. Like no one cares. Well, that's not strictly true, but enough said there. I mean, neighbourhood watch might care. You know.
51.
Neighbourhood watch. Surely neighbourhood watch could just be another name for nosy neighbours. But yeah, enough said. Oh, nah. So we've got a nice big lead in this frame, and we all know what I did to a big lead in the first frame of this match. I went and threw it down the drain, really, didn't I? That goes in. Left myself a cheap blue, which is what I played for. I suppose I could take the yellow, but the blue is what I played for, so the blue it will be. 5 points.
That's a top shot.
Believe I'm on red. I am on the red. It's very good news. And what a standard this would be to start the match, you know. That's the title of the last episode, so just I don't know what I'm calling this one yet. Kind of might depend on what happened. I'll tell you what, if it weren't for Dave Hendon and Neil Founsall being so happy with my shot and saying no problem there or what have you, I would have been panicking about where the pink was going. Pink goes in. And that should keep Gary Wilson. Sorry, Gary Wilson? Should keep Jack Lisowski in his seat. Heads still in last night as far as snooker's concerned. Oh dear. In terms of what I was going to watch tonight, I was thinking of watching Flounder Fest episode, Troy's channel, and snooker YouTuber. I'm not sure what his name is, but I know what the logo is.
And he was the 6th frame, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
So I watched one of his videos about Zhao Xingtong when he was 15 years old playing top 10 Matthew Stevens. They do talk about Zhao Xingtong very highly. I mean, really, I only really have two memories of him. The 2019 World Championship when he completely fluffed up that big lead against Selby, but to be fair, he did do well to get that big lead. And this year against Sam Craigie on the Judgment Day qualifier, Crucible, which ended in Sam Craigie securing his Crucible debut. I wanted Craigie to win that because, you know, otherwise there's only one debutant. You know, what's the Crucible? I mean, normally sometimes we get 4 or 5. And I think 2019 we had 7 debutants. It would be a bit rubbish to only have one debutant, and what a shot that was. Yeah. Mark Joyce, you know, the other debutant was, you know, a player who they reckon probably should have debuted before this year, but he's debuted now. I'll say there's other great players, other really good players who are yet to make their debut. Most notably, I'd say Hussein Vafai. You know, great player, I think. I do rate Hussein Vafai quite well. They reckon his biggest downfall seems to be the TV tables, but he somewhat conquered that at the British Open by beating Mark Allen on the TV table. Really impressive to see.
11.
You know, he got to this. What did he get to? I think he got to the last 16. Not a bad player. You know, good player. Who else is a good player who's never played the Crucible? Zhou Yulong's played. He's won about 18. Gilbert's played 19. He's played Tepchaya. Played a few times. A lot of these good players have been there. You know, there's a poll before the Crucible this year, before the qualifiers, who do you think will make their debut? Like, one of the options was Craigie. I thought, why will Craigie make his debut? Like, what makes you think Craigie's going to make his debut? But he did, so he's not that bad. Another of the options was Mark Joyce. I thought, nah, or maybe, but the biggest one that stuck out to me, Hussein Bafai. I saw him and I thought, yeah, I'm voting for him, obviously. He's a great player, you know? Well, not like a great, like an all-time great like Mark Selby. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about a good player, but not like... We're talking about a player who plays great, but isn't a great, if you know what I mean. That's quite Apollo Creed from Rocky 3. You fight great, but I'm a great fighter. You know the difference. You can kind of tell the differences there. Rocky fights well, but Apollo Creed is a great, you know. Oh, beautiful. Man, we've really built the momentum here. Playing another good frame. You know, form has really turned it on in the last few frames, and I had just spoken too soon. What a terrible shot that was. That was right out the pompous man's box. But what a recovery I pulled out there. And the keyboard didn't go in. What a recovery shot I pulled off. Now, after that shot, I can say I am playing well. Playing this at pace, want to make sure the pocket does accept this. This game tends to be pretty forgiving with middle pocket and pace. Certainly compared to other games that I've played. Just like real life snooker and that game on my phone. Pro Snooker 2021. Although, let me let you into a secret, it's called Pro Snooker 2021. When it was first released, it was called Pro Snooker 2012, apparently. I think they've just been incrementing the title every year. Because last year it was called Pro Snooker 2020. Well, what a deceptive name. I remember just sitting there for one whole afternoon. During remote learning after it all finished, like at the end of term, like we had a half day or something, so we'd had the half day in the morning, and I just Skyped assembly in the afternoon because they had literally no way of knowing they had virtually no way whatsoever of knowing who turned up to the assembly. Like, I don't even think they would have. I highly doubt. In fact, I think the assembly got cancelled. I don't even think it went ahead. So. I think I made very good use of my afternoon just playing that. Yes, he's taking the pot on. Parents are watching EastEnders in the background. Like, there's so much EastEnders, like you kind of get what's happening, and then I kind of got into it eventually. Like, and I've just missed, by the way. Got into it and then watched it for like since then, over a year. Favourite programme. Joke. But yeah, this could be another one of those frames. Although that wasn't... Okay, he's a lucky git there. Jack Lisowski. Yes, Jack Lisowski. Seeing the signs of weakness now. I'm detecting those signs that every player wants to see from their opponent. Those signs of weakness. Those signs that they have fallen from the top of the game to just a floundering fish. I put it this way. In a Flounderfest episode, Troy said, I went to the beach yesterday and saw these dead fishes on the sea. That has inspired me not to lose Flounderfest, because he doesn't want to be like one of those dead fishes, because obviously floundering fish, He doesn't want to be a floundering fish. He said Nicholas is one of those fishes. But obviously it's all light-hearted humour. Like they might talk on Flounder Fest as if they hate each other. They're best buddies, obviously. Well, I don't know about best buddies, but they are good friends. You'd think anyway. I don't really know what Jack's going to do here, if he's going to come back or what. I wouldn't bother myself. He needs a good few I think he needs about 4 snookers.
Well, tough shot.
No, yeah, he
Not
needs
what
4.
was hoping for.
Wait, what? Oh no, he doesn't need 4. He needs 2. But yeah, that is the state of play.
He's playing the safety here.
Looks like we're going to be making it 3 apiece. So long as we don't give away these 7 penalty points that he's after. I think he needs 7, yeah? Yeah, he can get to 61 without snookers. So yeah, he'll need a further 7 points from there. So yeah, 2 snookers regardless of... Well, I'll say that, but if I do a foul on the black, he can tie, but obviously I'm going to actually have to touch the black rather than foul on the black. Because obviously he won't be able to play for snookers if we're down to the black, so... Like, I don't know if any of you watched the Scottish Open final, the first frame, Selby was about 80 points in front, about 70, 80 points in front of O'Sullivan, like, something like something like 91 to 21. And Sullivan came to the table just to pot the black or something, and the referee, or to play for snookers or whatever, and the referee was like, no, you can't do that.
Jack Lisowski won.
Well, Jack Lisowski has effectively shot himself in the foot.
Be conscious of not overhitting this.
He now needs 14 penalty points. Let's just... actually just verify that, yeah, he does his 14 penalty points, and he says he's had enough. And on we go. We've completed the comeback. Honours even. 3-3. Now we have hurt Jack. Now Jack will be annoyed. He'll be angry now. Or he'll be agitated at the very least. You'd imagine, like, and we just keep knocking him in. I was going to say he might just about have got away with words there, but he hasn't. Got away with words, what did that even come into it? But, right. What a beauty. Playing extremely well at the moment. And considering this time last week I wasn't even playing this game. Didn't have time. I've certainly got back to form, but this is a toughie. This is a definite toughie. But not even that can get us at the moment. We're just on such a roll now. Like, this is majestic stuff at the moment. And look at these balls, as lovely as you'd like them after Jack Lisowski's break off. We've really got to score really heavy, like, not do it in 2 bites of the cherry. We've got to do this one visit. Really say, Jack, you ain't winning this. We are the champions. And we're going to the quarterfinals. Because, once I get past this round, no longer am I in the early rounds. It still feels like I'm playing early matches, but now I'd be in the quarterfinals. One more match until the best of 17, so hopefully I can get that far. Obviously I've got to get past this match. But I've made the comeback, so you've got to say, I've got a chance now of victory in this match. Hello? Who is it? Okay, that's great. Okay. Huh? No, it's fine, it's fine.
So, I've locked everything.
Okay, thanks, bye. No.
That's a good split. He's got a real chance here.
Oh. Red just stops over the middle pocket. We're on the blue very nicely.
31.
This is just like playing for fun now, you know, like I'm just really relishing this now, you can tell. Like I've just completely relished this episode. Hopefully we can clear up with 4-0, you know. Winning every frame, that'd be a dream finish to this episode, to say the last frame of it. You know, we're doing to Jack really, in this episode, we're doing to Jack what Graham Dott did to us in the last episode. 3-1, he was 3-1 down going into that. No, sorry, not in the last episode, but in the second episode of that match. You know, he was 3-1 down after the first episode, and he came back in the second one out of the blocks. You know, he took a 4-3 lead, but obviously we made it 4-4. So hopefully Jack doesn't pull the 4-4 on us. Hopefully we can get to at least 4, by the way. You know, I wouldn't like to be behind going into the last episode of this match. Obviously there is guaranteed to be another episode now after we took the last frame, but we've now hit the half-century mark. It's looking very, very, very good for us now. Just going to try and roll this black in. I mean, the thing is with this table is I don't even need to play phenomenally. As long as I hit it somewhat decently, I'm bound to be on a red, because look at all these reds, they're so open that I don't even need to really focus that much on... Well, I don't need to focus much on potting the position when it comes to getting position on a red, because obviously because there's so many reds at the moment. Obviously, getting position on a colour, I need to make sure I get a decent enough angle, and you know it's easily potable and what have you, and leave me some sort of hope of getting onto a red. Oh dear. Deary me. Well, I'm just going to cannon this red and hope for the best. Yeah. Got a red into the left middle. That's pretty much what I would have expected.
This is being played towards the left middle pocket.
In it goes.
Beautifully done.
5 reds left on this table now. So here we go. This cue ball, this black ball will give us the lead in this match that we were once 3-0 down in. And in it goes. We have completely taken control of this match now. We are well and truly in the ascendancy in this match. And so we should be. We've played so well, we deserve this lead. I'm proud, you know, I'm proud to be in front. I'm very proud of the way I played in this. You know, we're not even at the 25-minute mark, and already we're looking very, very good. You know, we're in front, taken first 3 frames with this episode. You know, it'd be very fitting to make a century now. I feel like the end of yesterday's episode was just a very, very foreboding finish, almost, because, you know, Colin finished off with a century. I mean, don't get much better than that. It was a brilliant break as well. 136, you know, it's a pretty high break, you know. Bearing in mind the highest is 147 without a free ball. We didn't have a free ball in that break. I don't think so anyway. So, you know, that's a very, very good break.
Decent position to take on a colour here. 90.
And as I'm blowing my own trumpet on that break, what's more impressive is the fact that I can top that break in right here. I can get 140. But I don't really fancy the black, so I'll settle for a 130 plus break. And let's not forget those 130 plus breaks from Sam Miller's back at the Community World Championship by Captain Goodspeed, you know. All those 130 plus breaks helped him on his way to being crowned Community World Champion, and, you know, a very, very unexpected winner at the start of the tournament, you know. If they were placing bets or something at the start of that tournament or whatever, Sam Miller's probably wouldn't have been the number one pick. You know, betting for Sam Miller's would have been like betting for Jordan Brown to win the Welsh Open. A feat which, amazingly, Jordan Brown did pull off. Good player, proved himself.
Position to take on a colour here.
But he feels like he's still got something to prove, which I feel he's not wrong. But I don't think for one moment that he's fluked the title, and he shouldn't think that. You don't fluke beating Mark Selby and Ronnie O'Sullivan in the way to winning a final, in the way to winning a title. You know, Selby and O'Sullivan, I mean, they got 10 World Championship titles between them. Okay, 9. It was 9 at the time, but still, that is a very, very impressive feat. You beat 2 of the greats of the game. You beat 2 all-time great players to win your title. I mean, that's just fantastic. And what's more impressive is that if Jordan Brown had gone out in the first round of that tournament, no one would have noticed, no one would have cared. It would have just been like, yeah, so what? He's out. No one cares. He's just another player. You know, 64 players are going to be out in the first round anyway. He's only world number 81. Of course he's going to be out. He ain't that good. He's got probably a tougher opponent. You know, that's what people would dismiss him as. That he wins the title, people are like, what a player, what an inspiration, and what a miss that was. Shouldn't have adjusted it. No fantastic 139 clearance, but that break of 121, I believe it was. It was. Gives us the lead astonishingly in this match. And we now should be I am extremely proud of myself. I almost feel it's a certainty that I should win this frame, you know. I've frozen out a top 16 player for 4 consecutive frames. It's only the second time I've done that, I believe. Third time. I did it at the Shanghai Masters final. When I say I've frozen them out for that long, I mean on Pro Plus aiming aid and on hard difficulty. So, you know, I did it at the Shanghai final against Willow from the 1-0 down to 4-1 up. I don't think I did it in the semi-final against Jack. I've won 3 in a row. To pull away from 7-7 to win 10-7. What else? The quarter-final and the first round. The only other time I did it was at the World Championship. The World Championship against Robertson. You know, that epic comeback attempt from 12-3 down to pull it back to 12-7, and could easily have been 12-8 if I just hit the power bar right, or maybe gone for a different shot, you know. So, however many points without reply that is, it probably hasn't broken the Ronnie O'Sullivan Ricky Walden record. Whenever I think of Ricky Walden, I just get a little... It just kind of makes me laugh a little bit in my own... I just have a little giggle to myself, you know, Ricky Walden. Or that's why... When I think of Ricky Walden, I just think of all those times he got battered by Ronnie O'Sullivan and the points without reply and all that.
Jack Lisowski, 18.
So, that valiant attempt from Jackpot ends on just 18, and we do return to the table to hopefully do a lot more damage than just 18 points. I'd say the fact that he's gone from... I mean, come on, you got to say the fact that Jack has gone from a great standard to barely stringing together 18 must imply that we have severely knocked him. Although I don't, as much as I'd love to get excited about how well I've done, which I have, you can't deny it.
Now, can he drop this?
I needn't, yeah, that was inevitable missing that really, wasn't it?
That isn't what you'd expect from a player.
You know, I'm just maybe getting a bit ahead of myself. I really, really want this frame, and I might just have done enough to mess it up. You know, 4-4 I would feel a bit injustice, but at the same time, if you'd told me I'd come out of this 4-4 at the beginning of this episode, I would have been pretty relieved, but it looks like we ain't gonna have to pull out a miracle to be 5-3 up the way Jack's playing. It really doesn't. I mean, Jack has basically gone from riches to rags in his game, in his standard, through this match. It's just deteriorated since we kind of flicked the switch and came into gear. Like, the way we've come out the last few frames is just astonishing. Another attempt at the long blue, third time lucky. Well, obviously not a third long blue I've taken in the frame, but third time lucky and producing a break bigger than 1. Although that is going to be it, I'd imagine, unless I can cut this thin red in along close to the cushion. Feel confident. I'm feeling very good. Just thinking about what I'm going to call this episode. I don't want to give it away too much. Like, if I said blowing my own trumpet, it's going to imply that I'm playing well. I'll probably think of a name. I mean, that was the beauty of the title with the last episode, a great standard. It doesn't imply that I've phenomenally blown him up. I mean, even if it does imply that I've blown him away completely, though you'll know for future that it does not mean that, because he played very well. I think I used that title before in a similar circumstance. I really nicked the idea from Captain Goodspeed when he used a similar title like that, incredible standard, and the standard from both players was just great. Well, I've played well in the last session. He played well. That was the thing. And that shot there was one which went in really because of the very, very, very pace I played the shot at.
Nicely over the pin. 17. Tricky pop coming up.
Cheap brown, as it were.
He'll be happy with that. Top shot. 21.
The best shot I've ever played. Okay, I think they're presuming they'll take this thread on, but this is tough. This is tough, don't get me wrong.
He's playing with the right corner here.
This is by all means missable.
Great shot.
What a shot I've pulled out there.
Queuing there. Really good.
Oh, what a flick off the brown. That is very, very helpful.
22.
The brown's probably not my best choice now with the angle I got on it. The green, though, is very, very inviting. Just to drop on this red by the right-hand side cushion. It's going to do a world of good. So it is.
25.
Oh! Just as you are getting ahead of yourself and getting pompous and getting confident and all those sorts of things, what do you go and do? You go and miss an absolute sitter. Wow. I think he's in the same predicament we were in earlier on. Yeah, he had the same problem.
Jack Lisowski.
He was in no man's land. He couldn't pot a red, but he has proceeded to play what I'd have to say is a pretty decent safety shot, and one that is going to give us a little bit to think about. For sure.
He doesn't want to lose the white here. Could leave an opportunity.
Deary me. I caught a red, not the one that I wanted to catch though. It's gone all wrong.
What he intended at all. He'll be annoyed with
He'd
that.
now fancy Jack for 4-4. You know, this has been a bit of a scrappier frame than the other ones in this match. I can't remember how. I think there was potentially another scrappy frame, but this has certainly been, this has certainly felt like the scrappiest. If Jack's not on anything, well, he's on this thread, yeah. But just signs that Jack's not playing so fluently now.
13.
I'd imagine he'd get on the yellow from here. Ooh. Well, Black's frame ball if he goes for it. He hasn't. He's not really got. Well, he has got a shot at the yellow to be fair, but okay, in it goes. Wow. We've eaten a slice of humble pie.
28.
And that, end of frame, end of episode,
That's the frame in the bag.
end of a 5-3 lead dream.
Well, this is
But we're well and truly back
very tight match.
and
Players refuse
flying.
to give any ground here. It's tight, isn't it? Just when you think one player is starting to dominate, there's an immediate comeback. Great stuff.
That, what Neil Founds has said, if you heard it, it pretty much sums up the game, what he said. Just as you think one player is beginning to dominate, the other player makes a comeback. Well, pretty much true. Jack Lisowski seemed completely in the driving seat for the first 3 frames. 3-0 up after that mess up from us in the first frame. We did obviously have a very good start in the first frame, but we were denied winning the frame in the end. And then Jack Lisowski kind of dominated his way to a 3-0 lead. Then the comeback came, and we kind of looked so good that we were going to win. That we thought we were going to win 6-3 the way I was playing. Oh, I certainly did anyway. And then Jack Lisowski comes out and nicks that frame. So if I hadn't have missed that easy red, probably would be sitting here now dreaming the 5-3 lead. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. I sure did. Please leave a like and subscribe down below. It really helps me. It really helps the channel out. It means a lot to me. And yeah, subscribe for regular Snooker 19 content if you haven't already. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching and goodbye.